Sure. So how did that affect you, my studies and obviously nama friendship naphandle?
Friendship wise, I did have friends during that that time.
Yeah.
Got okay, here's the thing. I can make friends, but I struggled with keeping them because I could not maintain, the state of the relationship. Ngoba bengekho right. I felt like because lento ekuthiwa uthando, that warmness, I do not get it ekhaya. So I felt like people that were trying to give it to me were trying to use me. It had gotten to a point where I felt like I deserve yonke into embi, to such an extent that whenever a person, tries to embrace me, tries to love me, and be there for me as a friend, I'd be like, I funani.
Hey yo, guess what?
Yeah, welcome to yet another episode of Realign with 925. We're doing it like we're doing it for TV. Yeah, man, you know how the drill is. So yeah, we just today until Puma Rananje side, but this is how we do it here, man. I just went to this other college to get some of the students bazo share story sabo with how do they manage with kube isikele umgroove umjolo ngapha istress asezindlini yabona. So because me myself, I never went to a college, so that's why I want to understand basically life as a college. So today I just got this beautiful lady go by the name of Sonto. Sonto is here to tell us actually how is here to tell us about personal life and Noguchi Skolo Sinjan. Sonto, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Right.
Young right,
I'm nine.
I give much.
Yeah. So yeah, actually I just want to ask you about the school and the life and how do you put this thing together and make it to work? So yeah, but anyway, I would like to say welcome to Realign with 925.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So man, can you just please tell us where you're from and how did you get here, and around Secunda and why you chose the path that you chose, the career?
Okay, SONTO'S is from Bushbuckridge. Mm-hmm. I grew up here at Mbalenhle. I moved here, I think, in 2006. Mm-hmm. And then I've been here my whole life. Eskoleni, I'm doing finance. And I chose this path particularly because it's something that I've always loved and something that I've always seen myself doing from a very young age. Mm-hmm. I loved accounting, finance, all those things, economics, all the way from primary school, economics and management sciences. Mm. So I was like, you know what, this is for me. This is where I should be, yeah.
So actually, before you went to finance, we were checking Spanish or Belgian?
Yes, I did do my research on that, and yes, Spanish provided you keep developing yourself, improving with hopes of Spanish and stuff like that. But you keep improving yourself as an individual. Uthole umsebenzi ogrand.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So like mawuthole Spanish sharp, what is sharp to you when it comes to this financial management.
Yeah. For me, Spanish sharp really is Spani that enables me to take care of myself as a young woman and to also be able to cater for umndeni wami ekhaya and for my two younger siblings, particularly them, because those two people are like, oh God, they're the best people in this world. Like, they really mean a lot to me, and me getting a good job will really benefit not just Usonto but my younger brothers as well.
So who do you know that did financial management that is successful now?
There are quite a few. There's my pastor's wife. Mm-hmm. She's working at Standard Bank. She inspires me a lot. Mm-hmm. She's an accountant, and I felt like, you know what, me being close now, it's somehow a sign. That's where I should go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, because she was able to do it, nami, I believe that I can do it and actually be there someday.
So you've been doing your course for how long now?
It's been 2 years, but it is a 3-year course, so I'm almost done.
Is it?
Yeah.
So how was the situation? But first, before I go to that, not to say what you chose the course yako for what you was manage umchita financially.
No, but I wouldn't mind doing that. Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind doing that. I mean, besides, as wives, as women, to manage your finances.
What do you know about being a wife, bitch? You just told me you're just 20 now. What is it that you know of being a wife?
I'm a Christian woman, so my understanding of a wife comes from that perspective. Yenkolo yami ukuthi unkosikazi okanye umfazi umuntu onjani, and what is expected of me as a young woman who is slowly but surely approaching the marriage state. Ukuthi ngibe unkosikazi womuntu. I have like great understanding of that.
So you say by understanding, there's two different things between experiencing thing and understanding.
Yes.
So what if we are feeling a popular situation and it's not what you've understood?
I'm an open-minded person. In as much as I know that life surprises us, so I'm well aware of that. I might get there and not get what I know, that things that I learned from my religion or what I learned at home, growing up as a young woman. But I'm well aware of that, and I'm like prepared mentally. But some things won't go as I know them or as I've seen them, but I'm looking forward to that phase of my life actually.
So what's your take on sex before marriage thing?
Sex before marriage is a sin, and there's no diluting it. Sex before marriage is a sin.
Yeah. So what's your take between
sex before marriage is a sin. It is a sin against God, and it should not be done, because we have to remember Guti. Another thing, again, Guti, like as black children, really, we were born out of wedlock. Ubaba umithisa umama wanyamalala. You see, and it's not a very good thing, because it has affect as abantwana,
But there's also divorces.
It divorce gone, but I feel like a divorce makes kinda like more sense than ukuthi umuntu amithise bese uyanyamalala.
What sense? Because at the end of the day, into one is a
technically akusinto eyodwa. Because you know who your father is.
But physically it is.
We can say that. We can say that. However, there's a difference between ukula without a father, and actually know what a father's love is, and experience it, than uguti like unga experience it at all.
Okay, because now I've seen a lot of from what you just told me. I've picked up something that maybe you might be a person who've been through some of the things, like growing up without a father, or not maybe like fully family members like your father, your mother, and all that. Can you just tell me about that? What maybe logo? How did it affect your studies and this girl?
Okay, so basically, my biological father passed away back in 2004. I was like a year old then. And then my mom moved aside. Over time, she did remarry. This perception of a stepfather and a girl child, but I'm keeping a very safe distance so that, I don't like open like a can of worms like ngalimali as a person. So it was that thing with my late stepfather. Yes, ekaya, but I never like had a father-daughter relationship with him. Like I never got to experience uthando luka baba, because it was a baba. Okay, fine. And that was that. And then my mom, we don't have like a mother-daughter relationship. It's a umamu konya pila kind of thing. And to me, it did affect me a lot. Not just me, but my siblings as well. Because growing up, we never really had a sibling kind of relationship. Like, but we never had that that warmth, ukuthi like sekhaya la. It was always okay, ngiyalala ngiyavuka ngiyadla ngiyageza ngihamba esikoleni ngiyabuya. It was that kind of situation, which was not really nice.
So what is warmth to you? Because as you say, you never had that kind of warmthness. What is it to you? What actually you wanted to happen?
I basically wanted my mom to be the first person I run to whenever I had a problem.
Why you didn't do that?
Because like
how? Or you were thinking?
Do you know that moment where you get home, you like upasile or something good happened to you at school? You went for a debate or something and come back home, you're like, mama, pasile, mama, this, mama, that, and she's like, oh, okay. So to me it was like, yo, okay, and then I'll just go to my room and cry, obviously, because I was like, okay, I was expecting her to embrace me, to hug me, to congratulate me.
Yeah.
To a point where she encourages me. Nokuthi uma mhlambe ngifailile ongenzanga the way bengifuna ngakhona, as a parent, I figure mntanami, you tried. You can do better next time. I never had that. To such a point ukuthi whenever I had problems, I don't go to her. She doesn't know roughly 98% of things that I go through and things that I've been through. So for me, it's like I wanted that mother-daughter relationship. I wanted that love, that warmth. I wanted that feeling, the feeling of belonging to someone. I wanted to belong. And I never really had that until ngikula and ngisindiswa. So that's when I learned to forgive. I learned to move on from that and to like stop having like. They're not absurd, but to have those expectations where, okay, umama must, sister must, and stuff like that. But I was like, it's cool.
So, it's
always I do provide for you, Mus. Like, ulaludlile, kuno pasha, so yini kenga kufuna ngahlala. That was the kind of situation. It got to a point where my sister and I even stopped talking about it. I was like, oh, that's cool.
So basically, this thing on Google sibling wako ukuthi kube nama ngabi another warmthness that you wanted. What causes that?
What caused it was the isolation. Because as my sister is like old, she's 197, she's 26 this year. So she did not experience it, and wafika stage in where she's so good yazine kahlale lento engidingayo engifisayo as a child angiyitholi, and then she decided to isolate herself. So I figured I'm a stage where I was like kahle what's wrong with me, kwenze njani, zikiphani, and then I was like yazine ngcono nami I should just isolate myself.
Yeah, as I was about to ask you ukuthi mawuthi that warmness between you and your siblings being echo yinto ekwenza ukuthi usho kanjani?
Isolation ukuthi like when my sister somehow noticed ukuthi this thing that we are entitled to, that in which we deserve, uthando lomzali, bekangalitholi, was isolated. And maka isolator as isolate in a sense ukuthi uzivalele kamareni ayi-1 and stuff like that. But even us, our relationship was a hello, hi, bye-bye. Hello, hi, wow. Bye-bye. Hello, hi, bye-bye. It even got to a point where whenever I acknowledge that, mara, yazi, this thing, this void, it's like, I value in any sense, And I was like, maybe it's best if nami hlalele. So it was that kind of thing, hello, hi, bye-bye. Hello, hi, bye-bye.
So how did that affect you? My studies and obviously nama friendship naphandle.
Friendship wise, I did have friends during that that time.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. I can make friends, but I struggled with keeping them because I could not maintain the state of the relationship ngoba bengekho right. I felt like because lento that warmness, I do not get it ekhaya. So I felt like people that were trying to give it to me were trying to use me. It had gotten to a point where I felt like I deserve yonke into A and B. to such an extent that whenever a person, you know, tries to embrace me, tries to love me, you know, and be there for me as a friend, I would be like, I funando.
Yeah,
You know,
because you don't know that kind of thing.
Exactly.
She's up to something.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
so,
the only reason I relate is because I grew up like that as well. But to me, it was not like Gucci, I had parents. I didn't have any. I grew up alone. So lento learning I asked at some point. Now that I have a 14-year-old daughter, I come back kulento le to uyikhuluma ukuthi maybe some of those things does happen because of, you know, musina njengoba mina ngaka kanje, like I have njengoba ngisho 14-year-old daughter, we have baby mama dramas and all that. You know, there was a time where I had to as if like I'm upending my kids for about 2 years because of the baby mama drama, and I wanted to give her peace because maybe that's what she wanted. You understand?
Yeah.
So I want to get back to the thing, you distance yourself to your stepdaddy. Where is that coming from? Why were you doing that?
I felt like it was really absurd ukuthi like gibe no baba, like a father-daughter relationship, whereas I do not have a mother-daughter relationship with my mom, that is. So for me it was like, as kungcono if I keep my distance because angifuni ukulimala mina.
Uzolimazwa yini?
In a sense ukuthi yabona thina sikhulele kasi, yabo?
Yeah.
And ekasi kunalento ukuthi like stepfather vele awusondeli stepfather kuze kube ngathi umntwana akho and stuff like that, like umntwana akhe, that is. So to me it was like, oh okay, kusho ukuthi kumele ngakubonda
to cut the ties,
that exactly,
yeah.
So that kungazo yabona mos.
I don't see because I'm seeing Tombazana and I've never had a stepfather.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking you, because my daughter is in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's where I see now what she is trying to reach me. As I said, I was like, okay, I'm upending her, just leaving her, but now she tried by all means to get hold of me. And what's worse is, and again, Umamake doesn't want me to be in contact with my daughter. She has to get a phone from the neighbors to phone me.
Oh
you understand? I don't even know why she doesn't have a cell phone, because I bought her, then something happened, then they bought her, but now all of a sudden she doesn't have a cell phone. You understand? Yeah. Because I'm trying to get the vision, to visualize behind what's happening to her mind. As Jongobang Shuna 14, she's about to be, she's 14 and on a 20, obviously selling at 3 years, which have been a 17, so that she can experience what you have experienced.
Yeah.
And so imagine lentole oishoyo azanke guchi at some point to feeling that you need a father figure in your life, chole maybe sugar daddy or something.
I had an understanding, Yoguti, this void, this emptiness that I had was never gonna be filled by umuntu Lisa, ever. Whether a boyfriend ungangami or abo sugar daddy labo, I never felt like the need to have one, because a man is equals to a child. So I don't want a child. I still have goals. I still have a lot to do. So I just felt like it's not necessary for me to like have a bless and stuff like that. I tried by all means to avoid having a blesser and even a boyfriend. Whenever a guy approaches me, I'm like, whoa, I'm busy. I have a lot going on in my life. I don't have time for nonsense.
Yeah. But the raid in Pana, because I think it's fine like that. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. So when you say you don't need a boyfriend in your life, why is that?
I feel like I still have a lot to heal from, from my childhood traumas and etc. And dating or being in a relationship won't serve me in any sense.
No, it won't.
ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi I'll probably like feel like a burden bese yabo mhlawumbe umuntu angiyuze okay kodwa ke mina ngihlaniphila ngiyuzeki so kodwa nje I have that understanding ukuthi like angifuni ukuthi ngibe with someone else because it would be selfish of me vele ukuthi ngibe nomuntu ngizazi ukuthi mina kusonto angikho right. And I still have a lot to like do as a young woman, to achieve as a young woman, as an individual, you know. I still have like a whole lot. I still have a life ahead of me. And being in a relationship won't serve me in any sense, but so, it will just delay me.
Has there been an experience where maybe like umuntu omdala as a woman try to propose you?
You baningabi abobabenu. Ngakutshela dog. Abobabenu actually like was it on Tuesday? Yes, on Tuesday bengiwasha ngale ngaphandle and lo baba approaches me yabo ufika ngibuza umama miyamazi like uphuma mama it's no mama yakhe like oh hey yazi mina ngifuna ukukhuluma nawe and I'm like oh okay ngiyacabanga nje ukuthi okay
umdala maybe ikhuluma into enesense
and umuntu engimaziyo ngimjwayele so I'm like no mhlambe khona into afuna uyibuza or something like that wangihlolela umuntu wangicala wathi awukhaleli ukusebenza nami la ngisebenza khona. I was like no mina ngisafunda yabo and la usebenza khona mina angeke ngilunge because angisumba umuntu wama overall and stuff like that. You know umuntu wasema office divida yabo so I was like nah and he was like oh yeah yazi ngikulindile yonke 4 years yonke ngilinde wena 4 years ago 16
usho kanje
4 years ago mina 16
wow so ukulinde vele ukuthi ube na 20
dog. I was like, yo,
baba lo simfaka imfuku.
Ufuna incindi. Ufuna ijombo. Ufuna nje ukhahlelo ijombo lo baba. You know, and he was like, no, I mean, ngikulindile for as long as okay, here's the thing. I-girlfriend yakhe ikahlala ngasekhaya. Wayeyibhonya. Like wayeyimura. Ayihlalisi. Wayeyitrapa. And I was like, "Mali baba ngijwayela kabi yazi." Honestly, umdala naye ngiyavuma kodwa cha akangiboni.
Yeah, so manje wathi
like he was like yeah mina ngilindile for 4 years yonke ngizokukhulisa. And I was like no mina ngimncane for lezo zinto lezo. And I was like no ngizokukhulisa ngizokunakekela ngizokwenzela yonke into oyifunayo blah 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 blah. And he was like yeah una iPhone wasondela wama etuzo kwami so and he was like yeah una iPhone ngathi mina no angina iPhone ngisabudget ngifuna ukuthenga iphone yami iphukile. And he was like hayi na lungisa indlela yokukhuluma hayi kumele uthenge iphone kumele sithenge iphone. And I was like lova ngiboni yazi
usho uke kanjani
lova ngiboni honestly it kind of made me like realize ukuthi no kahle kahle asinabo baba la ngaphandle. Because my stepdad passed away. Obviously, these people like must step up and be like father figures to us, but instead, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, like as a black people, guys. Honestly, like men are supposed to be protecting us. They're supposed to be making sure but instead, bona. Like yeah
so
I didn't have to, not really didn't have to, but bengisaba like oh god hey exactly.
So you tell me even
not really uthungale but as I said earlier on like I don't have a mother-daughter relationship with her.
So all of you were just when
my sister and I.
How many are you?
See 4.
So the rest Ushab give was just you and your sister and your other sister.
I wouldn't say yes because we're close. We're close with my younger siblings.
So my ubi sometimes with the
anginequality instead ngiyajabula because abafana by the time bafika kule stage bayibona ukuthi ekhaya kusona so uyetshwaleni uya ima-drug scene and stuff like that. So I was like no right, you know. So okay I guess growing up vele mama I never had that mother-daughter relationship with her. So I cannot tell her, you know, Ankoni, even if I want to, Ankoni, even when I achieve something in school,
you can't even go.
Ankoni.
So actually you're on your own now.
Literally.
So, let's say a church abadlali leyo part leyo because sometimes amasonto isn't as sharp.
They do, but Leia angisuma makho iyaba khona every now and then, especially if lo umuntu lo inabantwana bangangawe iyakushaya ukuthi ya kodwa vele yazi mara.
Then mawubona abanye abantwana abomama abo they chain them up and zonke izinto ezinjalo, how do you feel, Joe? Because I was like, okay, I have to understand because I don't have parents. But for you, it's totally different. That's why I want to understand from the your point of view. How do you feel? Abanye abantwana mama they good, but when I'm off clean, it's like go to your room.
At first, I'd be sad. I was like, oh, saba well. You know, saba well.
Yeah.
You know, but mind you, now that I'm like mature, I'm like that. I do not know, but my kids will know. My kids will experience that. Naganjani.
But you know, in life, ne. Let me just give you something about the reality of this thing. You may have a kid, you may have kids, you may have a kid, but what if at the end of the day, the baby daddy is not there, and now as a parent, you are stressing yourself. There's a lot to your hands that you need to deal with.
Yeah.
You understand? How are you gonna be able to lento leyo uthi mawubona abanye bakhalele, because njengoba ngisho baby daddy is giving you a problem ngapha life ngapha ispani ikoloto and all that. Maybe your mother is going through that phase, who knows? But when amawufika lapho
for my whole life,
phela amawufika lapho njengoba uthi ukhumbule ukuthi you said your father passed away and your stepdad also.
Yeah.
So maybe what if your mamako ubana lento lokuthi maybe yimi ngine party, why wonke umuntu ozempilweni yami uyavala. You understand? So when amawuthi abantwana bakho zoba sharp, what if now ubana lezo nkinga lezo, how are you going to try by all means to avoid that?
Ezinto empilweni asikhona uku-avoid ne, but background knowledge of things, they help us make better decisions. Like they help us to make better and informed decisions. So there's absolutely no way that ngidlule kulezinto engidlule kuzo mina ngizofaka abantwana bami kuloko. Yes, chances are azoba khona ama baby daddy drama, oh God forbid, andizi. But uma ingaba khona into kanjalo, honestly, like I said, ukuthi that's one of the reasons why I don't want to date, because ngiyazi ukuthi if I date I might have a child, and if I have a child lo baba ngabaleka if we're not married. So I kind of like feel like ukuthi it's best if ezinye izinto I cross those bridges when I get there. Okubalekile ukuthi mina ngihile from what I have experienced.
And ukuthi ufunani, yeah.
Exactly, and for me to become a better person and to eventually become a better parent. I'm not saying ukuthi I'll be the best parent in the whole world, but ezinye izinto we can't prevent them ngoba siyazazi and we have experienced. Yeah.
So since you talk about experience and ukuthi ezinye izinto udlulekizo, so uzodila ngayo ngokuthi ungajoli no, but at the end of the day you're gonna get married. What about the reality of life? What if you get a guy uchata 5 years ukushada, so you're gonna abstain for that fucking 5 years, or what are you gonna do?
Exactly, I'm gonna abstain for that 5 years.
And remember, if you abstain for 5 years now, you're gonna be 25, and after 25 another guy 30. What you gonna do? Because let's talk reality here.
So my thing is, I do not center my life around a man.
That's great, yeah.
In as much as I do want to get married, I do want a family, I do want, kids and all that. Like I need a man in my life or whatever. No.
But for me, as I've heard you were saying, basically it's not about men, it's about you having kids. Because you were just saying, I want my kids to have that. And obviously, you need it.
Yes.
Not unless you have some sperm egg. And
yeah.
So, how are you going to be able to maintain that nigga not to leave you? Because in reality, things do hit the fan. You understand? Like fun, like the way we are planning things.
Yes.
We okay, fine, trying by all means to open it out to try will keep her. That's why at the end of the day, I'm never cherry day by a lawyer, because of they want to keep the man.
You God.
Because I wanted to have kids as many as I can, and I wanted to give them love, nothing else but love. But life happened, as I can tell you now, I don't want to have a kid anymore in my life. I do not want that because of what I've experienced. I thought for me, for loving my children, I'm gonna be the best dad ever. But it turned out that because of the stupid baby mama, you understand, that it turned out to be me hating to have kids.
Yeah.
So now I'm trying ukuthi ungabi at the end of the day ngazi because of umama ngubaba you can be able to hate your kids, or somebody can make you to hate your kids or not like your kids because of the situation. Because in my situation, I almost got arrested for things that I didn't do just because of they are trying to feed whatever emotions that they wanted to feed. And that's my kid. And by the way, I have 2 daughters, but that's why I'm mentioning one, because the one is the one that I'm closest to than the other one. Also, same thing, baby mama drama. That's why I say maybe yimi umuntu onesinyama. Why 2 yabo mama, same fucking problem.
Yeah.
Maybe this thing is not into me. Because sometimes growing up alone, not having a supportive family, anything that happen, you think you the reason.
Yeah, you blame yourself for
exactly.
everything.
We are humble yamganini mawufika ushayisa ngetransi ish because I was there.
Yeah.
We are humble yakuphi kwenzeka something ish maybe
Ilukuthi mina ngila.
You understand?
Yeah.
So this thing it's very I can relate to your story, sure. So what is your best advice that you can give Abu Mama, because I can see the way you are so intelligent. What is your best advice that you can give Abu Mama ebantwana babo, since umntwana, but I can see ukuthi ingqondo yakho is very far?
I read somewhere kuthiwa if you don't listen to the little things abantwana benu bazamuntshela zona, they will never tell you the big things. So avail yourselves as a bazali. Be there for your children. Be there every step of the way. Yes, financially awukhoni, but be there. Be there. Ukuba khona kwakho as umzali like means a lot to umntwana. And that's something that they will cherish impilo yabo yonke. That umzali wami, in as much as behangana nings, but she was there for me. Ngiyalwazi uthando luka mama, ngiyalwazi uthando luka baba. And that is one thing engibambile ukuthi kahle kahle kuyathandwa. You understand? People like singabantwana, that's all we want. Just be there for me. Embrace me. Uma ngenze kahle, congratulate me. Uma ngenzanga kahle, mntanami, you tried. You can still do better next time. Yabo, there's always room for improvement, mntanami. Khululeka. I'm proud of you for the fact that uzamile ukwenza ukuthi nokuthi. Yabo, that's all we want. That's all we need as a mantwana. Just embrace us.
And as for you, you don't know that. And now you're still 20. You were supposed to get that up until maybe 35, 40. Because your mother is there.
Exactly.
So what is it that you would like to tell your mother if ever she's watching this?
Yo, God. What would I tell her? I have forgiven you. Like, ngexolele. And for some reason, I do understand. Kodwa, ngisakudinga. You know, I still need you in my life. Ngiyadinga ukuthi embrace as ingane yakho. I hate having to beg you to love me. I hate having to beg and to plead for your affection. And me trying to do that has led to me like being broken. It has broken me ngendlela isimanga. Like it hurt me ngendlela isimanga. But I have forgiven and I'm ready to start on a clean slate. That's if you are. Kodwa okwamanje, I'm keeping my distance ngoba the more I try to make this effort ukuthi ngibe khona and to try and make you proud of me, ngathi ngivele ngikuphoxe kakhulu. So like in as much as you went there for me and my older sister, just try by all means ukuthi ube khona for SONTO'S nosbusiso, because they need you. Like they need you.
Wow, man. That was touching. I almost cried, bitch. You are. Because, like, bitch, I can totally relate and, sure.
Yeah.
I wish my daughter is not going through that. I really wish that, man. Because some of the things are irreversible. You cannot reverse, Joe.
But it's a matter of acknowledging when as umzali uthi ngenziphutha.
But how
I was not there.
How are you gonna acknowledge that? Because what you telling me, we had a conversation with my daughter. She also tell me the same thing. Like, ukhona aze ashare izinto comfortably noma mncane rather than already lakhe.
Yeah.
But why as Abu Mama? I wish I could get somebody onomntwana and somebody who's doing that. As long nigga, like the real reason why are they doing that? Why umntanakho kumele makumele share nawe izinto ezidip angakhoni. But rather than aye komunye umuntu.
Yeah.
You understand? That's what I mean. I'm failing to understand that because what I know is I need to give love that my parents never gave me, not because of they couldn't, but because of they were not there.
They were not there, yes.
You understand? So for me, I need to make, because even some of my career that I was supposed to be a successful artist or whatever, I couldn't because I used to dedicate my time so much to English. Yet, Abu Mama, they don't appreciate that. So when let me just give them whatever that they want, because at the end of the day, I'll find myself in prison. But anyway, to thank you for having. Thank you for coming to this to Real Line with 925 to share something. It's the first time that I'm having umuntu and like we share a common thing and mostly things that are damaging in life, because people don't understand that. You know, one about my old lady and about treat her like ill.
Yeah.
I'm like, in fact, you do know what you have. I wish I had that.
You know that.
Sure.
Do you know one thing about my situation at Uguti? She's there for everybody else but us, her children. It's like, I remember there's this girl from church that I could not stand. Like, I could not stand her because, yo, mama got this, mama got that, mama got this, mama got that. And I'm like, oh, okay, would you just shut up? Because I don't know that.
Wow.
You know, I would even like avoid her at all costs because ukhuluma ngento engayazi and lento le ngikhalela mihla yonke.
But the guy yona mfethu.
Exactly.
Or mhlambe maybe khona itime lakhe into amenza yona.
Ngangizibuza lokho.
Mhlambe uzama.
Yes, ngangizibuza lokho. Like there would be times when I would just cry myself ngize ngiyolala. Like ngikhale ngize like ngifall asleep. Ngizibuza ukuthi kahle ngimenzeni. What did my dad do? What did my grandmother do? Ngixolisa so we can move on. Kokunye I would even ask myself ukuthi mhlambe khona into mina engayenza. But then every time ngihlala phansi I'm like mara ayikho into umntwana angayenza ukuthi
umzala mthanda.
Exactly.
Because lo muntu umlethe emhlabeni, you the one who's supposed to
and I'm entitled to that. Kumele ungithande, awuna choice. Awuna choice.
Of course.
Kumele. Yabo.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this whole thing is really like damaging. It's not good because it affects umuntu in all aspects of life. Like
until uzobe mdala nawe sure.
Well, not really until uzobe mdala, but until you snap out of it now because beke kungisiza nami ukuthi ngijole ngizale and I'm like yeah ngikhule ngihlupheka ngikhuluma mama ngangithandi blah 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 blah. No, I had to like snap out of it like okay kunje ekhaya ne it's cool I move.
Let me just try to do things differently.
Exactly. Because ukulala the victim won't help me in any sense because I did that and I lost like 4 years of my life. So
4 years.
4 years.
And by then you were still in secondary.
Yeah, secondary. That's one of the reasons why I ended up at college because I realized why.
So you wanted to go to university actually?
Yes, I wanted to go to varsity, but unfortunately, grade 10 I'm very intelligent.
I can see it.
I'm very intelligent.
I can see it.
So now, what happened was, grade 10, that was the year my late stepfather passed on, and that's when my late grandmother passed on also. Now, that woman was the only person that was there for me. Like, she made me feel like a princess, you know. Whenever she'd be like, this is my daughter. Everywhere would go now. She'd be like, this is my son's daughter. You know, she treated me like the way that I wanted my mom to treat me. That's how that woman treated me. And I'm one person who isn't as in business. It takes me time to process. And by the time I processed ukshona with stepfather Sam, that was the same time I processed Uguti. At the same time, I'm now processing Guti Koko
Wow.
My pillar to cry on.
Yeah.
And ngapha I'm still trying to understand what ngapha stage is young and I'm trying to figure out ukuthi what's what.
Yeah.
that led to me like not passing my grade 10 gahle. And then, okay, fine, I went to grade 11. Grade 11, I failed. And my sister was the only person that embraced me. She was like, Dasekaya, it's cool. You can do better next time. But it depression being like,
how old you were?
I was 16.
Wow.
Yes, I was 16. And like, I was like, yo, guys, like, I was just like going through the most. And then, okay, fine, I went back. And then COVID-19 happened. Okay, it was, okay, COVID started in March, right? End of March. And then Sakubesa the first quarter. And then by the time we came back, it was October. I attended really one. I was like, angisakhoni, like bengasakhoni, like bengasakhoni. There'd be times where ngithi ngihleli classini inyembezi zivele zehle. And people would be like, "Sonto uyakhala."
So you never had suicidal thoughts?
I have, and I did try, but here I am.
Uzama ukwenzani?
Ngangithanda ukuphuza amaphilisi, like amaphilisi. I read somewhere.
Overdose,
I read somewhere ukuthi like mawuphuza amaphilisi okulala, a certain number of sleeping pills, you die in your sleep. Ngaphuza ngaphinde kawu-2 but ngiphile.
Wow.
Kungabi nokuthi ngithathiwe next ngiphile, phuza paraffin uphile, like ube grand uphile. Uphuza amaphilisi okulala, uphuza amaphilisi oma-pain but uphile. You know? And it was not nice.
Bazali. Hey.
And my mom does not even know that, by the way.
Manje usho ukuthi uphuza amapilisi in a way yokuthi njengoba utawuyanga esibhedlela nobody noticed.
Nobody noticed.
So you were never weak, like ulale extra hours.
Ngiyalala ukulala, but by the time ngivuka nje ngivuka ngiphethwe ikhanda iqhubeka impilo.
Wow. How many times have you tried?
I've tried that probably like 4 times already.
So you didn't know about Intambo?
Intambo was impossible because I tried Intambo one time and my youngest brother walked in on me and I was like, oh God, hey, nagog. So my brothers have this thing of they don't knock. They're like, Sonto! And then one time I was like, Yazine, I'm shy, I'm a getting a hanger. She was like, Sonto! And I was like, yeah, because I don't want him to see that. Wow, you know, and I never tried ever again. I never tried that ever again.
Don't do it.
I won't do it. Yo, guys, God is good. Tiklantanda, man.
All the time.
Yo, Tiklantanda. You know, yeah, and back to the whole academic distress thingy. Young Shire. And when we went back to school around October, I decided by Yazine, yo, angisakhoni.
Which grade you were then?
I was in grade 11, season 2.
Season 2 as in like
season
you failed
2,
then.
Yeah. Grade 11, season 2.
Yeah.
I went back and I was like, yo, ngabona ukuthi yo ngeke. Kunzima. I would cry and people would be like, I'm at times lesson like, have Sonto uyakhala, like I I would not feel my tears. Ziphuma inyembezi esigcwele ubuso but ngingezwe ukuthi mina ngiyakhala. Abantu bezwangithi ngiyakhala. But when I'm in my own space, ngifuna ukukhala, asiphuma inyembezi. Noma ngathi ngiyamemeza ngenzani ngiyashaya aziphuma inyembezi.
But mawuna abantu
ila ziphuma inyembezi kakhulu. And then ngahlala ngathethiswa ngathukwa. It was okay, cool.
Ubani man?
Obvious.
Wow, man.
Obvious. Even
ukuthi
ngeke isikolo and angisho ukuthi why ngeke isikolo. But when I tried to communicate ukuthi what happened ukuze ngifike la ngikhona namanje, I'm like, oh no, you have a roof over your head. Ulala udlile. Blah blah blah. Those things don't count.
Of course.
Like people do not understand.
And by then
I was
still
grieving.
16.
Now I was like, yeah, I was 16. I was grieving. You know, ngabuyela season 3. That was 2021. I was 17 gelap. 17 there? No, I was 18, 2021. Mangibuyela ngoMay. Ngabo-May ngishaya futhi. Ahlala phansi.
Wow.
Ngahlala phansi.
Abogoisha ngempela.
Ongangoisha shem. And zingishaya so it was on my birthday. Ngavela ngasukuma eclass ngathi yazini angisakhoni. Like angikhoni.
So kahle
mind you, ngiphasa na kahle, but ish
yini kahle into culture is to see abanye abantu ba happy and you're not
that really, but ukuthi during the course of the year we are uphase kahle. But mobile for uJune uvela phatha ubuthongo nje obunzima ngabe ungabazi nabo ukuthi ubuyaphi. And then ubhale lokho okubhalayo and you like uma sobhala speed for the sake of writing yabo. Kokunye ingqondo vele ibaleke like abantu bayabhala wena la.
Ubangloyi mara.
Bangiloyile.
Lo bani school.
Angazi ngaloyo bani but yeah. Ngaloywa.
So how did you manage ukuthi as much as Mama say tertiary or
I was very much consistent ngokukhonza. You know, ukuthi noma kunjani, kukubi kukuhle. I'd go to church. Ngowisha nginjalo, I would still go to church. Kukunye engakhona ngisho ukuthandaza but ngithi Lord. But ngithi inkosi when we ask, you know.
Yeah.
And at times don't go to church today, man. Gafana. You know that feeling? Gafana. But then I would like still go to church. And by God's grace I was delivered from everything. You know, I was delivered and I learned to forgive and I became a better person. You know, from all those experiences, like having God in Bilonyami has changed my life drastically because I'm a better person. I'm not the person I was 2 years ago. I'm not the person I was a year ago. I'm a so much better person. Gonna that those days where it's like it's kind of difficult, but I get over it. Like I just go, Lord, if it is your will, let it be done.
Yeah.
You know, God helped me ngendlela esimanga. And God has been faithful in building Yami. I would like probably if uThixo wayengangithandi I'd be dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because you tried several times but you were not successful.
And then after I was delivered, I decided I'm gonna go to a TVET college where I would do my NCV program and then ngibone after ukuthi ngiyaphi, you know, because it's quite a challenge ukuthi usuke from a TVET college bese uya a varsity. But I was like, you know what, it was worth the shot. Last year, I started last year, that was my first year. And then as I was studying, towards the end of the year, we got my results that were I'm a permit. I show you we are qualified to balance stuff like that. I qualified to write all my subjects. Ngabala. I got 3 distinctions.
Wow.
The lowest percentage was 76%.
Wow.
And I was like, God.
Wow. Look at God, man.
Look
at God.
And no man, I'm doing very good at scholarly and wow. Yo.
So what are your plans to further your studies after you've done with this 3 year?
With the NCV program, I intend on going to varsity. Like that's where my heart is. I want to do BCom accounting.
Definitely gonna go there.
Because that's the thing that I want to do. Like it's in my heart. I want to do that. And yeah, I believe that by the grace of God, I will do it.
Amen. Like thank you very much for sharing your story. So we have to close because you see, like today you're having a lot of ups and downs in the studio. This thing never happened before. I don't know why, man. Like, hey, today it was hectic. So any last word that you would like to share with the 9-to-5ers?
It's never too late. It's never too late. You are never too old to start anything. You're never too illiterate to start something. You can do it. Like work with whatever it is that you have. Whatever it is, sebenza phezu kwayo. This one thing that you're so good at that you can do, yenza yona uhlukana lezi ezinye. And one thing that I can actually advise a person on is that noma ngathiwa ulimele kangakanani or how broken you think you are, you're not damaged beyond God's repair.
Wow.
God.
Wow. Words of wisdom. Yeah.
God. Jesus.
Is
there for you. He loves you. Oh. God. That one, he'll never forsake you. He'll never leave you. Like if you put God at the center of everything, konke will fall into place. No magatiwa mhlambe, it's that season of brokenness or whatever, but God is there. Every single time.
I think you need to pray for this podcast to prosper.
Nakanjani.
Pray. Yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, man. We're out because we are facing a lot of problems here. I don't know what But yeah, man, we managed to finish this episode. Yeah, don't forget to check us every Tuesday. Tuesday, we choose Wolf 9 to 5. Realign with 9 to 5. I'm out. I'm really out. But not of order. Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, you out.
Pushing your pan, you're pushing your pan, you're fooling your van, you're fooling your van, pushing your pan, you're pushing your pan, you're pushing your pan, I mean like, I'm doing this for my